What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Debunked. And as you can see behind me, we have done the things. So let me cue the thing that shows you how we did the things, and I will see you in just a moment. Okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little time lapse, and we are going to take a quick little tour of what we've done here, and then we're going to move on to some other things that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So as you can see, I've stuck with the Tudor style buildings here, and we'll get back to what's going on here in just a moment. But yeah, so stuck with the same theme. In here, this is the same farm that we built in the last episode, and if you guys have not checked that out yet, make sure you go do that. And holy cow, those minecarts are loud. Let me turn those down just a little bit, and I think that is block sounds. Let's just see. That's not too much better, so we'll worry about that later. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. But yeah, so this is the farm we built the last time, and as you can see, I haven't done much on the interior. I've just started putting some stuff in here and want to make this look somewhat decent. We've textured the floor up and made it look kind of good. We'll add some more in here later, but let's go over here to this farm, and as you can see, I've got our nice path going here. Looks like it's nice and weathered and worn from people walking across it. We're going to continue that path on around over and connect it up to all that later on. So next room over here, we have our bamboo farm. This is the new one. We just built this one in the time lapse, and this operates the same way as the other one. What'll happen is, as these bamboo pieces grow up, as soon as one of these observers sees that, it will trigger that, and then you can hear that minecart going. It'll pick those up and take them down below. So speaking of down below, let's go down here. And yep, this is lovely. It's beautiful. I know you love it. But this is our collection area. This is going to get a huge makeover at some point, but I just couldn't be bothered before to get this done, mainly because I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But let me know down in the comments what you think I ought to do. Suggestions. I think that'd be good. So this over here is obviously picking up all of our sugarcane. I just did some trading. That's where this paper came from. So this is pretty well empty. But if we go over here, we have this one feeding down here, and we have lots of bamboo. And you're probably going, dude, why you need so much bamboo? Well, I'll tell you about that later, but this is going to come in handy. We're going to need to make more scaffolding for one, but we can use that as a fuel source as well. So That's what's going on down here. Now let's go back up top here and let's go down to this other room here. This other room is, yeah, it's empty. I ain't done nothing. That's why there's no roof above it yet either, because I'm not sure what I'm gonna put here. I'm thinking a kelp farm, but I don't know. So something else you guys can suggest down in the comments what I ought to put here. On the outside, we'll come over here and we'll take a look. I've got a couple things going on here. I have this option, which is kind of the first that I started with, and that is not too dissimilar to what I've done over here, but obviously this is out flush and I need to move that in one block. And then this side, I've done a couple things. First one is I did a little bit of texturing with some diorite. I kind of like that, kind of breaks things up. And then I've also done some different things here with some slabs and stairs and some stripped oak logs. I kind of like that a little bit more. And I really want to do some more texturing on this stuff, but let me know down in the comments some ideas you got, some suggestions. I've been playing around with some things, some trapdoor stuff, and I didn't find anything that I really liked, but let me see if I got some trapdoors in here still. I do. And I may go with different trapdoors, but I was playing around with doing some stuff like this, and I don't like that at all. So just trying to kind of add some more detail and some more texture to things, and I don't mind that hardly at all, but maybe I need to go with different type of trapdoors. I don't know. Now that we've got this kind of done, I want to move on to doing something else, and then we'll come back to this in another episode and we'll finish this stuff up. So what I want to do is not what I told you guys we would do last time. Last time I said we were going to do some things over here with building, you know, and all that fun stuff. And I mentioned that we would probably go and work on our zombie, I'm sorry, not zombie, our villagers. Hopefully they're not zombies. It doesn't look like they're zombies, but we were going to work on that kind of stuff and do a villager trading hall. But I think what I want to do is I want to hold off on that, and we're going to work on something else here. So I'm going to go over here and take a nap real quick, and then I'm going to get together some resources, and I'll tell you what we're going to do this episode. Okay, we have most of the items that we need in our inventory, save for one, and we are going to go off on a little adventure to find that one. And as we're walking that way, let me take a moment to kind of show you what I've got in my inventory here. We've got wood, we've got hoppers, minecart, some kelp chests, stone cutter, some water, a piece of soul sand, and some scaffolding. What we are going to do is we are going to work on a mob farm. I am in dire need of a way to keep my tools repaired, and right now I am left to just going around mining things or killing whatever spawns up here on the surface. But we have a perfectly good zombie spawner down in the depths somewhere there, and we can use that. So that's what we're going to work on today. But the next thing that we need to make that thing work is we need some packed ice. All right, I didn't have to walk very far, and I found what I thought I was going to find. What I didn't know is that along the way I was going to find this village too, which is pretty stinking sweet. Let's go up a little higher because we need a non-flowing source block of water, and we need to be above Y level 95. And if I bring up F3, we are at Y level 80. So let's go right up here. I think we're going to be able to get up here pretty easily. And I tell you what, right here is going to be the spot we're going to do this. So I'm going to dig down just not that far. Going to dig a 3x3 that we can put in some water, and all we're doing is we're making a 3x3 hole that is going to allow us to have an infinite water source and it's also going to allow us to make our ice. So as this stuff sits here, it will freeze, and then we'll get what we need. So let me sleep here, and then I will bring you guys back in just a moment. Okay, we just woke up from our nap, and as you can see, we already had a piece of ice that is formed. So we're going to go ahead and mine that with a silk touch pick. If you mine this with a normal pick, all it will do is turn back into a source block. So we want to mine that out, and I'm already on the wrong pick. There you go. So don't do what I did. There we go. Now we've got our ice, and I've got too much crap in my inventory again. Let's get rid of that. And no, I don't want you either. There we go. That's what we want. Okay, so now we've got our ice, and we need to get enough to be able to make a 3x3 pattern. So I'm going to need to get another 8 pieces. So let me do that, and then I will pick back up with you guys once I've got that done and once we're back over at our zombie spawner. See you guys in just a few. Okay, we're back, and we are down here in the abandoned mineshaft, and I actually just blocked this up because we have another spider spawner behind there. I think we have at least 2, if not 3 of those. And as you can tell, you can hear my dog barking in the background. He's found somebody he's happy to see. So sorry about that if you guys can hear him. Okay guys, I am back, and I've spent about a half an hour lighting up caves, but I don't think I'm done because I still hear stuff spawning around us. But we're gonna move along with getting our farm built here. So I've put down my stone cutter and a couple of chests with some of the bits and bobs and things that I had with me. Throw a couple more things in there just to kind of get them out of the way. What we need to do first is we need to understand how these spawners work so that we can make a farm out of them. Now, the way these work is if you are within 16 blocks of a spawner, it will try and spawn whatever its entity is. In this case, a zombie. If we back up here, we get out of range, you'll see the flames stop on there, and that means it's deactivated. Hi, how are you? Where did you come from? Go away. Thank you. Cool. So we still have areas where things can spawn here. That's not fun. We'll throw down a couple of torches. Holy spiders, Batman. Where, and why? We'll take care of you later. Okay, so we're outside of the 16 block range, and you can tell there are no flames coming out of that spawner. So if we move closer, as soon as we get within 16 blocks, there you go. It's fired back up again, pun intended. So what we need to do is we need to take advantage of that. If we're within 16 blocks, this thing will try and spawn a mob, as long as it's dark and it has a space to do it. Now, it will only spawn a certain number of mobs at a time, and that is based on a thing called mob cap, which we're going to get into later. But what you need to know is this spawner will try and spawn within a 9x9 area, and it will try and spawn a block above and a block below. So to make sure that this thing has plenty of room to spawn, what we need to do is we need to build a 9x9 room with no openings. And then we need to have the room tall enough that if a mob is up here, it could still spawn. And if a mob is below it, if it tries to spawn right below, it still has room to spawn, which means if a zombie is 2 blocks tall, that means it needs to be at least 3 blocks underneath. And we don't want them to spawn on top of this, because if they do, then they can sit up here all the time, and that will count against our mob cap and blah, blah, blah. So not cool. That's where this stone slab comes in. So we're going to knock this torch off, and we're going to place a slab on top, because as we remember, mobs cannot spawn on a slab that is on the bottom of a block. So that would be the equivalent of this slab right here. So you can see that that is only a half slab up. So that takes care of that. And the next thing we need to do is we need to go 1, 2, 3. We need to take these cobble walls out, and that will be our 9x9 room. So let me build that here real quick. and I will bring you guys back in just a moment when that's done. Okay, we have our area dug out here, and the next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that we have 2 blocks above, which we've already kind of done. We've got 2 blocks plus that half slab, so that's not a worry of ours. But the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we have at least 2 blocks below, really 3. That way, if anything tries to spawn underneath, it's got plenty of room. And so let me go ahead and dig that out. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to put down some ladders here. That way I have a way that I can get back up. You can use scaffolding or whatever you'd like. And as we go along, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we've got everything all blocked off. We don't want to have any holes in here or anything like that, so that we can control where these mobs are spawning. Okay, we've got that dug out now, and what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning up this area just to make sure that it is a nice, pretty box with no room for mobs to spawn anywhere else. We don't have to quite go to these links if the if everything's lit up really well, that's not a problem. But what we do want to make sure we've done is that there's no gaps like this where if something spawns, it can just walk out over here. So I'm gonna get that cleaned up here real quick. And then what we're gonna do is we are gonna talk about the next step. And the next step is figuring out where we want our killing chamber to be. Now, our killing chamber needs to be in a place where we can get to it kind of conveniently, and it needs to be in a spot that is close to this, because again, we want to be able to stay within 16 blocks of this so that when we're over there, it's still spawning things, and then we're able to go and just kill them when they get there. Okay, so in order to keep things fairly simple, what I've done is I have just kind of cleaned out this little area. And this is kind of where we're going to make our killing chamber. And it's just right off the edge here of where we are. So we will find a way to transport the mobs. They'll come over and they will fall into our little killing chamber, which we're going to build here shortly. So the next thing that we need to do, now that we know where we're going to have the zombies fall, we need to figure out how we're going to get them here. And to do that, we're going to use water. And we're also going to use that ice, and we're going to use an item elevator. And we haven't done one of those yet in the series, so today's the day. I don't think we have anyway. So let's get started on that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to come back down here, and we want to do a little bit more work in here. Now, since we know that we're going to have these zombies go a general that way direction, ultimately, we need to be able to get them to that area. So to do that, we need to come over here and we need to dig a trench for those zombies to get into. Now I need to clean that stuff up here, so I will do that here in just a moment. Matter of fact, tell you what, let me just do that right now. I am going to dig down 1 block right here, and we are then going to go a couple blocks more, which is going to put us right in here. That's okay. We can fill this area in and make it all pretty. It's actually going to save us a little bit of digging, not much. So we're going to come, I think, 2 blocks more. So let me make sure I keep that torch down there. Now let's go up here and make sure we know where we want our zombies to fall, and make sure we're not going to go too far. So I want the zombies to fall kind of right here. And if I hit F3, my coordinates are -4.7, 21. Actually, no, -4.7, 320, 319. Okay, let's just call it -4. Just call this -4, 319 or -4, 320. And I'm gonna leave that up for just a second. I know that may not make some of you guys all that happy, but whoops, I want to go here. So if I go here, okay, yeah, I'm pretty close. If I go right there, then I am actually right in line with where I need to be there, and then we'll go up and they'll go over. So that's perfect. Now, what we need to do is I need to dig straight up, and I need to go up 22 2 blocks above where we're at up there. Now, the reason I want to go 22 blocks is because if you drop a mob 24 blocks, they will die. Now, obviously, if they have armor on, it's not going to do that, but we're not going to necessarily care if they have armor on. The reason we're doing that is because we want to get these guys down to low health. So all we have to do is walk up and punch them or swipe once with a sword and kill them all. That way we're not using all kinds of durability on our tools. The whole point of this is to make a grinder to heal our tools. So from right here, we want to go up 22 blocks, because 22 blocks will make sure that we get them down to a heart or half a heart. Okay, so I'm at block 43, and now what I want to do is I want to make sure I have a 3 tall area. I want to make sure this is lit up. I don't want anything spawning in here. And I want to go over here to where we know we are going to have our guys come up. Okay, and we are now up to where we need to be on this side. So now we've got our area where they can drop just like that. And you can see that took me down to 1.5 hearts. Holy crap. We need to do something about that. So I tell you what, let me eat some food. Okay, so I have gone ahead and I've dug up on the other side and actually put a water block here so that if I fall like I did a couple seconds ago, I'll land here and I'll have a safe landing and nothing bad will happen. So let's go back over here and let's take a look at this. We'll go up our scaffolding and we are going to be at the same height we were before, which is level 43. And here we go. Okay, so we're up here and we're at level 43. So now what can happen is those guys can come up here and we will make it so they can go right over here, fall down, and they'll be at minimal health so we can kill them pretty easily. And the first thing we want to do is we want to make our packed ice. So to make our packed ice, we simply take our ice and we fill up our crafting bench here, and we have packed ice. Now again, packed ice will not melt. And normally when you have packed ice, if you put it down, if you had a torch, then it would melt. But if I hit this with my silk touch pickaxe, I get that block back. That will never melt. That's what we need. First thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we are going to make sure that we have our stuff ready to go down here. And if you remember right, if we put down a source block here, our water is going to go 7 more blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If we dig down one more, what's going to happen is that is going to let our water keep flowing. So that's pretty key. We need to do that. And then we need to put down a block right here, and that is going to be our packed ice. And what that's going to do is when this water gets here, it's going to shoot things over into this. And then when we put our bubble column in here, it's going to shoot things straight up. So the next thing we want to do is we want to put our soul sand down right here. And it's going to be clear why we're doing that here soon. I promise it will. Now, what we need to do is we need to go back up here and we need to do a couple more things. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this bucket of water, and then we're going to make an infinite water source back here because we're going to need to have some water buckets available to us. That way, when we put these down, we don't wind up losing our water and have to go back up top. So, okay, we've got that there. This needs to probably stay that for right now, just in case I fall down while we're doing this. We don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put down our water here. You can see it hits that and boom goes. And then it comes over here. We flow nice and slow. And then we hit this ice and then we hit the soul sand. So that soul sand is going to turn this into a bubble elevator here pretty soon. But to do that, what we need to do is go back up top. So let me go back up here. So now we have a water column going down here. So now we need our kelp as we're floating down here. And what this is going to do is this kelp is going to turn all this into source blocks. And that's going to be absolutely key, because once we have source blocks everywhere, let's go ahead and get some air. Then this will turn into a bubble column. Let me make sure I don't. Oh, I died. Crap. Well, time to go back down. I will catch you guys once I'm back down there. Okay, I got all my stuff back here, and well, not all my stuff, most of my stuff. There's the rest of it. So let's finish putting in this kelp, and hopefully I don't have another problem. And what'll happen is this will now be a nice little bubble column when we get all this stuff broken here, and we come out of here, and there you go. That test works out just fine. See how quickly we go up there? That's perfect. That works out just right. So now what we need to do is we need to actually, I think we need to take this out one more block so that this will flow correctly. So let me do that. Let me rearrange all my stuff. Looks like I might have lost some of my armor, which means we need to do a little bit of enchanting. Good thing we're making this. Okay, I went ahead and I made that one block wider, and I'll explain why I did that here in just a second. I think what's going to happen when I break this sign right here and we break this and we put a block in here, that is going to make that water flow back this way and run up against that sign, which is what we need it to do. So let me fill this in, and then we'll go back up there and we'll take a look at that. And up we go. So when we get up to the top here, what we should see is we should see that the water comes up from the bubble elevator, and then it will come over and it'll flow this way, and it is not flowing that way yet. So I tell you what, let's do this, and that's fine. And then let's do this, and there we go. So now it's flowing the correct way, so that when they come up, the zombies that is, from the top, they'll hit that, and then they will get whisked away over here. So let's fill that in. I don't think we need that to be there. And then let's come down here, and because that sign's there, that's not going to let that water flow over. So that'll push the zombies this way, which is what we want. Okay, so I'm back over here in the killing chamber, and we want to get that ready to go. And I'm actually digging this down one more block because I want to make sure that I am one block lower than where I'm killing my zombies. That's just kind of the way I want things set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in, we still want to make sure those zombies only fall down the 22 blocks. So we'll keep that there. And I'm going to put in these stone bricks here. And then what I want to do is I want to put in a slab, and I'm actually going to pull out these. I want to put in a slab so that there's only a little sliver, because baby zombies are a thing and they are a pain in the butt. So if I put in that there, that means I have the ability to come up here and swipe with my sword, and that will kill them, and the baby zombies can't get out, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's why we've done that. Let me go ahead and get the water out of there. And then what I want to do is I want to put in a collection system for the items. So I'm actually going to now dig down again, and we're going to go down one more block. Okay, so I've got that all set up and ready to go. And if we throw a piece of ice on top of this, you can see, maybe if I get it in the right area, that it will disappear. Try it again. Third time's charm. There we go. Okay, so that's working correctly. Come down here, and there is our packed ice. Now what we need to do is we need to turn this thing on. And you might be saying, well, how do we turn it on? Well, let me show you. So what I've done is I've actually got a pathway. Instead of going that direction, I've actually got a path cut over here. This is just kind of going through the mine shaft, and I went ahead and blocked this off because guess what? We have another spawner over there. So we've got one there, we've got one kind of down here, and then I think we've got another one over on the other side here. So we've got so many spawners. We can take advantage of those. But what we need to do now is come in here and we need to put, we need to close this up, and let's go ahead and just do this. And then we can break these ladders when we're ready. Zombies can't climb ladders, so we may leave that up there just so we've got it. And that's working out really well. And we can take these torches down when we're ready. And all we need to do is put down our water stream to get the zombies going the way we want. And then what we need to do is we need to put down our water buckets in the back corners. And what that's going to do is that is going to channel our zombies where they need to go. And let's get this last water bucket, and you will see what's going to happen is these zombies are going to be pushed over there. And I think because that guy's there, that did not update correctly. Let me kill him real quick. And we'll try that one more time. There we go. You're going to be, nope, you're not going to be our first contestant. Okay, I had to do a little bit of troubleshooting, and what I forgot to tell you is that you actually need to put water all along the back here, and once you have source blocks where everything is flowing, that will push all of your zombies all the way over, and you won't have to worry about it. So I also found a couple of little things during my little trial and error process here that we had to take care of. One is that these guys are trying to track me right now, and so they keep getting stuck down there. And the other thing that I have found is that they are dying about as soon as they get down to the killing chamber. So that means we're actually dropping them a little bit more than we should, I think. So let me get these guys all out of here and see if we can let them go die in our killing chamber. Okay, so I have noticed that everybody is dying a little bit before they should, so I went ahead and I'm going to raise this all up by a block, and we'll see how things go when we do that. And I think we are in business now. If I still have my slabs, get those up here before we have a baby zombie that comes out and decides to give us trouble. Okay guys, I am back up top here, and I just cleaned up a few mobs that had spawned while we were down below, and I came over here to check and see if our farms were loaded, to see if we got any more of our bamboo and our sugarcane. We got a little bit, but we don't have too much. I was wanting to maybe see if we could maybe do a little bit of trading with our villagers down below and get a mending book so we could heal up maybe our sword, because it's getting pretty darn low. But alas, we will have to wait for another time to do that. So in between episodes, I'm going to do a little bit of research here on how we can make that mob farm a little bit better. I'm not very pleased with the item elevator, or the mob elevator as it is used this time. So I want to make sure that those guys don't get stuck and that they'll come over and fall, and we can take care of them the way we need to. But again, I'll do that in between episodes, and I'll let you know what I come up with. So today, that's going to wrap things up. Hopefully you guys learned a little something new. And next episode, what I'd like to try and do is maybe start doing some stuff. There's our wandering trader. We might start doing some things with these villagers and getting that trading hall sorted. I know we've got that to do. We've still got some building to do here to get this finished up, and we need to finish this stuff up. There's so much to do. So much to do, guys. So much. So hopefully you guys have picked up on something and are enjoying the series. If you are, please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets me know what you guys are liking, and That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make content for you guys. So I will see you guys next time.